The Sonic Movie Show is a weekly podcast that you can find on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, and YouTube. Just search for The Sonic Movie Show and give us a like wherever you listen. What's up, Sonic nerds? Welcome to the 15th inaugural episode of The Sonic Movie Show, the only show that's reviewing another thing you don't care about, and that happens to be another set of Sonic cartoons. I'm Ethan. With me is Devin.
Hey, how's it going? Your Sonic quote for this episode is Mr. Sonic, Mr. Sonic.
I know what that's from.
And you will too by the end of this episode, hopefully.
I think that's from Sonic's Christmas Blast, what year, 1999?
That is... No, it says... So it aired in 1996, but it did
1996.
air, according to the SonicFandom.com, and I trust them. I trust them more than any other source for my Sonic information. No, it says it aired multiple times, so it might have aired at one point in 1999.
Because my lazy Googling, I believe, resulted with 1999. So yeah, we watched Sonic Christmas Blast for the first time each. We have thoughts.
I didn't know it existed. I made a joke when we first started doing this. I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's a Sonic Christmas related thing. And you're like, oh, there is. And I'm like, oh, okay. Perfect. That works out.
And I wouldn't be surprised if like Sonic Boom or Sonic X also had like a Christmas episode or something too.
Or holiday, like a holiday season related thing. For sure.
In any case, Sonic Christmas Blast 1996, a part of the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon series. Is that correct?
Yes, but here's something interesting about it. Sonic Christmas Blast first aired on USA in 1996, but it was nearly 3 years after the original series had been canceled.
Really?
So they already had it done, and they didn't air it until later. But then I would guess it was regularly shown on Toon Disney annually for a little while. At least that's what I'm getting from this. So
like once the show got syndicated or whatever, they were like, let's just release this.
Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was in 1993, and it was only from September to December. So it was only like 3 months.
Right. Because a lot of animation way back in the day, they just cram out a whole bunch of stuff and then
December
just send
3rd, it's not really Christmas yet. I mean, I guess you could throw a Christmas special up at the end of that, but...
Sure.
But maybe it's like, hey, this is done, so who cares? We're not using this episode. And then maybe they're like, a couple years later, like, hey, this wasn't bad or whatnot. I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason for it.
But someone's like, this can make us money. Let's just throw something out. We need something. ABC's 25 Days of Christmas needs something to show on Thursday. Let's just put something
when
out.
No one's actually watching.
Yeah. I mean, people watch like the first 2 days of their Christmas movie stuff, but by like the 14th day, no one's watching.
They're like, no, I've already seen A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Like 12 times, thanks.
So Sonic Christmas Blast was about 20 minutes long. Both watched it. It was free for Amazon Prime users, which was extremely convenient. No needing to steal.
Yeah, it's Christmas time. We're feeling broke. I want to be spending money on a kid's cartoon from 1993, in my personal opinion. So I'm glad this was free.
By the way, I forgot to cancel Hulu from when we watched your Sonic episodes last time.
That's like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Again?
So that was like $12 I spent for nothing. But that's just millennial problems, you know what I'm saying? All right, so we're just going to discuss the show. And I think the best way to discuss the things that happen in the show is to recap them chronologically. So I'm going to do that. And Devin, you are going to drop in facts left and right. Is that... Okay.
Yeah. Well, I have one fact that I want to start with. That blew my mind. Maybe you already knew this, but I didn't. Do you know who the voice of Sonic is in this?
Julia White.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
I thought I told you that a long time ago.
I don't know. Maybe I forgot about it, or maybe I didn't know who that was until I'm like, who is this guy? Let me research him more. It's freaking Urkel.
Yeah. He did it all throughout that Sonic show. Also, when Sonic Generations came out, which released in 2011, PS3, Xbox 360, and Steam. The original plan was that Sonic, or Classic Sonic, was going to be voiced by Julia White, but like his agent said no or something like that. So that's why Sonic is silent in that game. But yeah, he is considered like the classic voice of Sonic, and it is funny that like Sonic has had many voices. And it is funny that like every generation latches onto one specific voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, every kid now is going to hear that and be like, oh my God, he sounds so dumb.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, I felt like, he's kind of annoying. But then the more I think about it, I'm like, he kind of does sound like Urkel almost in a weird way.
And guess what? Urkel was annoying.
Yeah.
For some reason, the least interesting character on Family Matters became the most popular character on Family Matters. I don't know how that happened, but in any case, Sonic Christmas Blast was written by Bruce and Reed Shelley. I don't know if they were twins, siblings, lovers, father-son,
brothers,
mother-son.
Adoption,
you know what I mean?
Brother,
they had the same name. That could be just a coincidence. I could have looked this up, but I didn't.
I don't think it's really that important.
No,
so.
I just thought it was funny because I can't tell if Reed is a male or female name. The show opens. We cut to a regular city town. I guess we find out this is Robotniktropolis or something.
Which, by the way, in case you missed our one episode about Sonic cartoons, I covered Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. And I could have sworn it takes place in, like, a planet that isn't Earth, but, like, similar to Earth. Well, but they celebrate Christmas, and I don't know. Just go ahead, but, like, just keep that in mind during this whole thing being like, wait, is this Earth? Because they don't really say, and it's kind of hinted at least in the other cartoons that... I mean, I don't think it's not hinted at in the other cartoons, but in this one it's hinted at as if it is Earth? I don't know. I'm confused. There's a North Pole. Yeah,
continuity be damned, but I'd say that. But the end of this episode, if this is the last episode of this show, I guess it's okay. You'll find out in about 45 minutes. So we cut to Robotniktropolis, and we see a little kid ask his mom if when Santa gets on the TV, he can talk to him. Which I'm like, you're a dumb kid. The mom is very dismissive. Right. We cut to a very obviously robot Santa being like, I'm retiring, and in my place is going to be Robotnik Claus. We cut to Robotnik Claus, and my god, he's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, yes.
I
was eating some pizza. Man. I was eating some pizza while all of a sudden he popped up, and I almost vomited.
Oh my god.
I was like, ugh. I feel like I was already eating a greasy thing, and he just looks greasy, so it didn't help. It didn't help at all. I didn't like it. I didn't like that design at all. Whose idea was that? I don't know. But,
I mean, maybe the idea is that he'd be repulsive and you'd hate him visually. So that's how you know he's a bad guy. But I didn't watch the show. You did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't dress like that at all. He dresses like what classic Robotnik was.
Yeah, with a beard over his mustache. So he announces that, he's Santa. He's going to be the new Claus. And we cut to the traditional mall scene of a Santa sitting in a chair with kids lined up to sit on his lap, but it's Robotnik Claus. That one kid, I don't know why this kid is so important. He's in every single scene of this entire show. Sits on his lap, and I want you guys to understand the turn of events. We now knowing in hindsight how this show went on, and we also know that Robotnik is evil, but just keep the order of events in mind. Kid is happy. He sits on his lap. And Robotnik Claus asks, what are you going to give me for Christmas? Which could easily be a joke any mall Santa could say. And the kid's immediate reaction is to be a snot-nosed little bitch.
I was going to say that too. That was like, hey, maybe Robotnik is in the right here, being like, hey, Christmas is more than just receiving gifts.
Right?
Like, you have to give gifts once in a while, you dumb kid.
We cut back to that subliminal idea at the end of the show too. Or actually in the middle of the show. But the kid, does this weird poke jab thing. And the Robotniks...
Oh, yeah, he, punches him. Yeah, it's like a weird punch poke. I don't know.
The kid that they got to act this cartoon character kid is all weird. There's a scene later I'll mention. But Robotnik Claus is obviously evil. We know this. So his immediate response is to kidnap him and send him to work in a sweatshop. Which he does. We never get to see this, by the way. We then cut to the titular character, Sonic the Hedgehog. He's talking to Sally, a mute girlfriend who does not talk. Women, am I right? Sonic leaves after saying, we get it, no presents to each other. That's how we do things. He leaves, he meets up with Tails, and Tails is like, no presents, but that's not right, or something. I didn't actually write down this part, because Tails is annoying, and honestly, he should be cut from this entire game series.
He's also not his classic...
He's more fox-colored. Obviously, they're going for realism. Duh.
Oh, yeah.
Sonic mentions that last year, Sally gave him a ring for Christmas, which was never shown in the entire series, I'm pretty sure. And now decides that there has to be a mystery about it, but they're not going to do anything about it at all.
It's such a... Actually, after we talk about the plot, I want to go off about that dumb ring. Like,
we will. I have
this,
things to say too. I've actually skipped a note. I want to take a step back. Before the kid sits on Santa's lap, the chicken says no moms are on Santa's lap. Kids only. I just want to put that out there.
What?
Weird thing.
I don't remember
when
that
the chicken. That's how we get introduced to that scene. Is the robot chicken guy? I guess that
I totally
he's
missed
like,
it.
moms have to be going to buy presents for Santa. No moms on Santa's lap, as if that's a thing that they would want to do anyway. Anyway, Sonic tells tales about the ring, and then we cut back to Robotnik Claus's henchmen are just walking through town, knocking on people's doors, asking for stuff to give to Robotnik Claus, and basically a kid's show just told me that a man can lose his livelihood, his wife, and his house. He just like gave all this woke knowledge on like a 7-year-old in such a sad way. He gets on his knees and begs. He said he had to sell all of his furniture to pay off his bills. That's not sustainable. I believe you can get forgiveness for bills.
And they're like, well, I guess you don't need your house or whatever. And I'm like, it's not, no. And they just they don't even remove it carefully. They just straight up just destroy it. Like, I'm like, okay, it'd be one thing if you're like, okay, we're taking this to use, Dr. Eggman wants a house or something, a regular old house.
They're just going to Fortnite it to make all those chimneys later. We get a off-comment mention that all the stores are empty because Robotnik Claus's minions are stealing all the stuff from every store in the world to give to him, which is not sustainable. That kid from before is just on the street. And he bumps into Sonic to give him exposition. And it ends with him asking Sonic to stop Robotnik Claus so Christmas can, and I quote, go back to the way it should be. Which, in my opinion, based off what this show means, is where kids can continue to get spoiled with toys, and at the slightest mention of them being selfless, they can be dicks.
I mean, let's be real. Would you be like that?
I don't know. I feel like if... I don't know.
If your dad came up to you and was like, "Hey, Ethan, Santa's retiring. There's no presents this Christmas." How would your 8-year-old self take that?
Did I? No, I actually knew Santa wasn't real at that point in my life already. But if less hypothetically, I probably would have been like, "But that's okay. But you get me presents anyway." To be honest.
Okay, what if he said, "Oh, no." He's like, "No, I can't either." That's what I'm saying. As soon as you take out that outlet, kid's gonna be pissed. So I get it, but that kid shouldn't be wandering the street by himself. That's
the henchmen come over with the robot Santa and straight up just tell Sonic that they lied. They go to kill him. We cut to our commercial break with a fade out of that ugly kid half-heartedly yelling for his life. It's just like, ah. It's not even like a scream. It's just like, ah. Right. We cut back.
Oh no!
Action happens, and then really quickly, Sonic immediately puts on a disguise and does some trickery, and the robots are stupid and tell him where Santa is.
Oh, by the way, my quote from the beginning of the episode was right before the kid found Sonic because Sonic was running around to get presents or whatever.
That's right. And Sonic goes, "I don't know, I'm Mr. Sonic, but it looks like you need help."
And I found that
okay.
And I'm like, what?
Apparently,
so everyone knows who Sonic is, by the way, I guess, too.
So all that happens, we cut to Robotnik Claus adding chimneys to his house because he thinks that after stealing everything from every store, people of the world are going to have things to give to him, and they're going to go down his chimneys, his multiple chimneys. Anyway, then that's just it. That's just the scene. He yells at his robot minions that basically gave away his entire operation. With like a pat on the back, tells him just to go grab Sonic. And we cut back to Sonic at the North Pole. He drowns some robots, and very quickly, Sonic breaks Santa out of jail with almost zero resistance. But I guess this is a 20-minute show.
Because it's the classic Sonic motif, where they're like, let's get robots that shoot things, even though Sonic could just run faster.
And he's going to be extremely hard to hit.
Anything you throw at him. So it doesn't matter how much... Even if you put thousands,
right? It's almost like this
robots,
guy doesn't learn.
He's just gonna go past.
Speaking of learning,
it's the same shit.
After he breaks Santa out of jail, we learn from an exposition elf that Robotnik Claus stole everything from Santa, along with everything from every store, all across the planet, and that Christmas is ruined, and that there's no hope. Very quickly, Sonic's like, oh, but what if I just steal everything and then just deliver all the presents? And Santa's like, no, but you're just not fast enough. Santa sees Sonic's ring and tells him
you cannot tell
that,
Sonic that.
oh, I saw this drawing on the wall in the cave I was in once when you broke me out of jail. I saw it on my way in and my way out, maybe.
That whole thing, I was like,
let me go take you over to all of these ancient runes, these scriptures on the wall that I saw once, and I now know all of their meanings. And they say, and I didn't even write down what he said because it was ridiculous. But basically, he tells Sonic that he can gain all-seeing truth and like serendipity and ultimate philosophy. And Sonic says, "Oh, velocity, like super speed,
ultimate velocity."
Like, okay.
Yeah, but then he does use the term too, ultimate velocity supersonicness.
Because that's what a 90s kid in 1996 or 1999, I guess, is going to think is a cool and smart thing to say. Maybe they're just pining for another Ghostbusters. So Sonic's like, all right, I'll do all the challenges. Sonic is great at everything and fails at nothing. But I guess we only have a minute and a half of this show to show this all, so I guess it's fine. And by the way, these challenges aren't some ancient rune stuff. They aren't like some you have to go through this ancient Temple of Doom caverns and stuff. No, it's just biking and snowboarding.
You have to throw something you love, you love down a cliff.
It's just, can you run on the snow? What if you like biked on the snow?
Yeah, it was.
These are the challenges. There's no like ancient, requirement set. Nope. It's just basically Santa being like, I'm going to pretend that you can run faster now by all this.
Wasn't there a snowboarding one too?
He runs up a ice pillar. He snowboards somewhere, hang glides somewhere else. The hang glider was just floating in midair so he can catch it. And then he lands on a bicycle. That is a modern day bicycle, not some ancient bicycle. Lands on a modern day bicycle and bikes somewhere. We then immediately cut to Sonic and Santa into town, and Santa just tells Sonic that he has super speed now. There is no like, oh, like he now has the power. It's just Santa's like, you're just fast now.
Sick, great. I wasn't fast before, I guess. But...
in like literally 15 seconds, we see Sonic steal all of Robotnik Claus's presents and deliver them to everywhere on the planet.
He also strips Robotnik down to his underwear for some reason.
This is Sonic. He's a trickster. Santa just steal everything from the planet. I think he gets to take his pants off. I don't know. The show is about to reach its end. We spent too much exposition with that little kid when we could have easily, spent more time Sonic enacting a plan to save Christmas. Maybe that's just me. We cut back to Sonic giving a bunch of boxes to his girlfriend who doesn't speak a word again. Even like burying her, taking a box off to talk to her and then putting the box back on her head and leaves. Sonic doesn't learn any lessons about, they said no Christmas presents this year. Maybe he should have done that. No lessons about anything else. We cut back to Sonic and Santa in town, and Santa's like, wow, I'm outmatched. I guess that Robotnik Claus was right. I guess I should retire. I think Sonic should now have the job. And that's how it ends, with Sonic being like, okay, I'm Santa now. And they wave.
He also didn't mention the mistletoe.
I wanted to skip it. I'm sorry. I'm not a furry.
No, when he gave her all the presents, he's like, oh, mistletoe, and then he kisses her. And I thought that was weird, too. There's a lot of weird stuff in this episode. But yeah, it ends with him being Sonic Claus. And he says, what does he say?
Have an extremely Merry Christmas. Because this, every year of your life. And that's it. They had 20 minutes.
Which is such a weird thing to say.
And I mentioned this before off air, but I supposedly this was to tie into Sonic Extreme, a Sega Saturn 2D Sonic game that was canceled. They had screens for it somewhere in some magazine.
Maybe that's why they originally didn't air it.
But this isn't really tied into that game at all. It just happens to say Extremely Merry Christmas. But maybe that was supposed to be the brand. Sonic Extreme this, Sonic Extreme that. Anyway. This show, and that's the end, by the way. This show, to me, this episode, because this is what this is. This is just an episode. This isn't a Christmas special. You know what I mean?
They just slapped...
This is, even that intro
Christmas
was just like, here's the theme song with some jingle bells.
Yeah, the only thing they added was they had a couple scenes
from the episode you were about to see, so you just got to be spoiled about some of the only action-y stuff that happens.
And what's funny is they showed a scene with the seal. I felt that was out of place in the intro, and it was clearly cut from a scene, like you were saying. But they had the original song, which was from the ones I watched. It was the same theme song where it starts with Hall of the Mountain King, but then has Flight of the Bumblebee, and then a little bit of the video game score to it.
Basically public domain stuff.
Weird. I just didn't think, because when I heard we were doing this, didn't occur to me that I'm like, oh shit, I have to revisit.
Because this show is
the
bad.
Adventures of
I mean,
Sonic.
there's definitely gonna be people that grew up on this and have nostalgia on it for it. That's great. More power to you. I'm glad you had something that you liked, and I'm glad you had an identity of what Sonic is, and that's great. Your show sucks.
Well, I will say this, though. I liked this more than the episodes I watched, maybe because it was only 20 minutes and not 30. And it didn't feel the plot was so stupid, and there was a lot of random stuff in it that they just this makes sense because kids are dumb.
We have 20 minutes to string this plot along. How are we going to just get from A to B?
The ring thing was stupid, and
they didn't even need the ring.
Oh, this doesn't make any. This didn't make any sense. So let's just add this weird.
Sonic easily could have said, "We have these ancient ruins at the North Pole that only someone fast enough is able to do." And I'm not fast enough. But Sonic, you might be fast enough. That's all it needs. Not some...
That would have been better. They're just I got this ring.
A year ago. Never wore it until today.
A year ago, coincidentally.
I wear it on the day I talk to my girlfriend and say, that's right, no presents, right? Just a subtly reminder that, yes, I do want presents.
But this plot doesn't beat the Baby Ape plot I watched in that one. I don't know if it was Adventures of Sonic or the other one because they're all blurred in my head. But yeah, I don't have to listen to a gorilla say for 30 minutes. So I guess I'll take this. If I had to pick one to watch out of the ones I watched, I'd pick this one to watch over again.
At the very least, we learned a very important lesson. Sonic is good at everything. He fails at nothing, and he's rewarded with being Santa Claus. That's it.
Yeah. So, is everyone okay with that? You didn't even ask, because everyone was pretty upset when, Santa retired, Dr. Eggman, but people were, being oh, wow. But, no one was, upset. So no one knows who Eggman is, really, but they know who Sonic is.
Sonic is going to do this every year for the rest of his life. Yay.
Who's making the toys still? Does Sonic have to make the toys? Will he have his own... elf army to make
the best
them?
Part about this is you saying that this was the last thing they ever did for that cartoon line means that Sonic being Santa Claus forever is now canon because there's nothing that takes place after it
in that world. Yeah, in that in Adventures of Sonic, the official canon ends with him.
To be quite honest, can you imagine a better way to end it?
Maybe that's how the Sonic movie will end.
If the Sonic movie ends with Santa Claus popping out of nowhere, let's say he pops out of a chimney, right? Classic Santa Claus thing he does. Gets on his little reindeer thing. Oh, by the way, sorry, side note, the robot Santa Claus, when he dies, I believe he says something to his reindeer about having them bring him out to pasture to end. I didn't even write notes down on that because it happened too quickly. Maybe I'm making that all up.
A lot of things happen too quickly, and I'll be honest, my cat was playing with her Christmas tree at some point, so I was getting mad at him, come on, stop trying to eat the lights off my Christmas tree, please. So that was in it, so I kind of missed a couple things. But once again, these cartoons just...
empty.
They're not made for us.
Are they even made for kids?
For real?
Because I don't think this show respects kids.
Because me watching this was I'm bored. Again, I'm just I have no interest. I'm itching to look at my phone the entire time.
Yeah.
I was more interested in my pizza I was eating until, like I said, the...
Robotnik Claus popped up.
Yeah. But yeah, I want Santa to pop up in the Sonic movie at the end and tell him you're the new Santa.
He pops out of a chimney. I'm going to go back to the story that I forgot about until you just mentioned it. He pops out of a chimney.
I was trying to tie it back.
Pops out of a chimney. He waddles up to John Marston and Sonic the Hedgehog, and he says, "I'm retired." Oh, John Marston was the Red Dead guy. Cyclops. We're just going to call him Cyclops.
We always call him Cyclops.
I forget his name.
Sorry, James.
Santa waddles up to Cyclops. He hands Sonic his hat and says, "I'm canceled. The millennials got to me. I'm sorry." And Sonic's just Santa now. And then that's it.
And Jim Carrey says no as he's rotting in jail.
Yeah.
But if you had to give this
1.
Really?
Yes.
You're going there?
I didn't watch your show, so I don't really have much to compare it to. But yes, that's a 1.
Compared to the show, like I said, if the show is a 1, this is like a 2 or 3. It's not.
I'm willing to bump it up to at least a 5 if I somehow got the confirmation that they knew this was going to be the last thing they were ever going to animate for this series, and they consciously made it so that Sonic is Santa at the end of this continuity. If they made that decision, it wasn't just like they just recorded a Christmas special at some point when they're animating and doing all of this show. You know what I mean? If it was like that, then no, it's a 1 out of 10. But if they're like, you know what, the last thing we're going to have out is a Christmas special, and Sonic is going to become Santa Claus, and that's it. That's how we end this. If that's the case, 5 out of 10.
I have a question. I know we're kind of just rambling with this, but that's kind of how these recaps kind of work, just all our thoughts. Robotnik just wanted all the presents, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Right? Is that there was no other like I'm using this to build a weapon to destroy Earth or whatever?
I think that'd be too complex for 20 minutes of a kid's show that's not even able to show how a little kid.
But you have a ring that has specific tasks that gives you a specific power that we don't really know about until the very end because it's convenient.
The kid breaks out of Auschwitz or whatever Robotnik had him in, and we don't even see that. And he's wearing the same clothes. He's not even in, like, prison attire.
They could have added 5 more minutes. They could have added 5 more minutes.
They could have added 20 more minutes. This should have been an actual Christmas special, a 40-minute-long Christmas special.
I could have sworn the other episodes were like 25, 30 minutes, and this was 20. It's including the intro that was at least 30 seconds. So
yeah. They spent more time showing Sonic hang gliding over a blue background than him saving Christmas.
Yeah, and it showed like the same image of him just going really quick around Earth.
Yep.
And he was going so quick that you could see it from space, I guess.
Right.
And
he's just so big, he's just destroying cities as he rolls by.
I saved Christmas and everything's just on fire.
And what was Robotnik's plan after, okay, let's say he wins, right? He stole all of the presents. All of them.
Everyone's just sad for 1 year. Like, does everyone just go? I mean, the one guy's house is gone, so his livelihood.
But Robotnik steals all that stuff, and then he expects people to give him presents. And let's say they do. Then what? Does he just expect this will just continue forever and he'll be king because he stole Santa's job?
I was under the impression that he gets it for the year, I guess. But I guess so. Like, is he Santa forever?
Just destroyed the economy.
I know, like, his long-term plan here didn't really make sense. Like, yeah, you got all the presents, but if you're going to do this again, no one's going to buy presents because they're like, oh, it's just going to get stolen again.
Robotnik had the resources
Robotnik.
to have an army invade and steal stuff from the entire planet. And he can't just march up to Sonic's house and nuke him.
Or just invade, like, government. Like, this is a cartoon. We're thinking way too, like, literal
Obviously.
with this shit. But, no, yeah, this episode sucks.
This is terrible.
I'm sorry. Like, it's so bad.
I don't know too much about cartoons.
I feel like we're too nice most of the time. Like, we always try to give things the benefit of the doubt, but this is bad.
I can't appreciate cartoons and the artistry about it as much as other people can. There are people that are able to speak far more eloquently about how animation business works and, you know, in the cartoon industry. I'm sure that there's plenty of times where this Sonic series, multiple series, has been talked about by people far smarter than us. We're just a couple lowly Sonic scrubs. But I just don't see anything redeemable about this at all. I really don't. Like,
maybe the voice, like, we were going to say, like, the voice acting, but,
this just was from an era where, like, all you need to do to have a successful cartoon is just have something that's on TV. That's it. Because kids are entertained, and that's it. You get your money from commercials where, you know, He-Man toys are being hawked at children's eyeballs, and that's it. No, like, actual, like, to my understanding from seeing this, any, like, love for what they're making. Like, Hanna-Barbera, which made, like, all those Flintstones and Scooby-Doo and the Jetsons and all of the classic cartoons that we know of that, like, you know what I mean? They were just, like, just put stuff on, you know what I mean? That's why let's make 27 episodes all at once, air them, like, twice a week straight through so we can get them on syndication and just make money. This just feels like it's a part of that.
Well, as I was saying, even the art style is very Hanna-Barbera, but it just feels so rushed. Either rushed or just, this plot doesn't have to make any sense. Like, they had, like, okay, in the end, Sonic has to save Christmas and become Santa Claus. Okay, how are we going to get to that point? Oh, what if there was a ring?
Right.
What? Who? Okay, right now, we know what we're going to do right now. We're going to do our own Sonic Christmas special, and I can guarantee you it'll be better.
You want to
Ready?
brainstorm
We can
this?
do this let's brainstorm this shit. All right? Here we go. So what's our end goal? What do we want Sonic to do? We can do the same thing.
We want Sonic to save Christmas from Dr. Robotnik.
Okay, ready?
Oh, am I going or are you going?
No, you want to go first? Or do you want me to
I thought you were going to go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm going to pull a little bit of the Grinch. You could even do that because it doesn't matter.
Just copy the Grinch.
Kids are literally just copy the Grinch. Robotnik's is pissed. He's like, I've wanted to capture the world by now. It's been a whole year. I've started this me trying to capture the world for a whole year, and it's Christmas. It's New Year's right around the corner. You know what? This is it. And I'm going to spoil the day. I'm going to win. I'm going to destroy Earth or whatever it is.
The one way to destroy happiness is to cancel Christmas for children.
Is to cancel Christmas, and then I can fully take over, yada, yada, yada.
No Christmas, no hope.
Yeah, so he basically just does an assault on Christmas, like Christmas Eve. The world's just destroyed by
an actual
his robot
war
army.
On Christmas.
Actually, a war on Christmas. The robots are cold-blooded, killing people. People are trying to do last-minute Christmas shopping. Here come the robots, just slaughters them all. Sonic's like, okay, this is crazy. Eggman's finally went to past, the point of no return. I'm gonna have to kill him. I'm gonna have to kill Eggman.
Oh my god!
So
you know what'd be funny too? The thing that actually gets him to act is realizing, wait, Santa is real. He sees Robotnik hold Santa's helpless life by the throat as he crushes him.
Oh my god!
You said point of no return.
There
is no point of no return if you kill Santa Claus. So Robotnik kills Santa Claus.
Maybe that's how it starts. Maybe that's how the episode starts. It goes straight. They're like, this is a whole new tone.
This is the last episode. This was a fun what are you gonna do? We are already canceled.
So it starts with almost like a flash forward, where it just shows the city on fire and Robotnik's just holding the severed head of Santa, being like, "I did it. I finally killed Christmas, and I will take over this planet. The human will is gone," or whatever, just some dramatic speech. And then basically by the end, Sonic, and all his friends team up to make the Avengers kind of thing. And they have some epic battle, and Sonic says, "I am Sonic the Hedgehog," and, snaps his hand, snaps his fingers, and
to be honest, what you just described also seemed boring. But at least it sounded like there was going to be a lot of action compared to what we saw.
It doesn't matter I'm saying my plot's already I just picked Avengers and How the Grinch Stole Christmas and combined them. But you know what? It's still better than this dumb plot.
Oh no, yeah, this was.
But more action. Yeah, they could have been better if it was action. I think Sonic is action, not these dumb plots that make little to no sense and monologues that actually aren't really good things to tell kids. Yeah, Christmas is supposed to be about me.
Right.
Getting all the presents.
Right.
Not Robotnik. I
hate having to have another episode where we hate on a Sonic thing. This is just the way of Sonic fans' life. If you actually want to have, a conversation about your fandom, you need to acknowledge all the bad parts. And it's really easy to do with Sonic the Hedgehog. And this is one of those bad points. I have not seen a single episode of the show that you watched, which this Christmas special is a part of. I have not seen a single thing.
I watched 3.
And I can tell you without a doubt, this is the worst one. Straight up. This is.
Well, I was going to say, out of all the things.
How do you make a boring Christmas special?
Out of all the things we've done on here, this is definitely the worst thing. I think this is
I don't know. I thought I hated Where the Wild Things Are, where whatever that movie was called. But no, this is even worse. This is terrible.
This is a different tier. This is F tier or Z tier. This is even
unranked.
You didn't finish the level. You lost all your lives.
God, it was just basically let's just throw Christmassy type stuff on the screen. The chimneys, the presents, the kids asking for presents, demanding presents, because that's what we want kids to do. Because we want them to see a kid get rewarded for being a dick to Robotnik Claus, and then we cut to a commercial where they see He-Man toys and the kids want the He-Man toys and they're assholes to their parents,
or the Hess truck.
Right? Oh my god, those stupid Hess trucks. Who bought those?
My grandfather.
Okay, let me rephrase this. What kid wanted those?
I took them. I used to play.
What kid?
But I was also
wanted those?
6.
You wanted a gas station branded truck.
It's called marketing. All right.
Oh my god. And they do those every year. They have like helicopters and shit now.
To be honest, I don't watch. I don't have TV anymore, but I don't know if do they still have commercials for it?
Yes. Every single year. There's a new one every single year. Like I said, they have like jet engines and shit.
I wonder if they have insane. I wonder if they have a YouTube channel I can like watch all the old.
I'm sure they have like
commercials.
like a Uber delivery driver truck.
Or no, next year it's the cyber car or truck with Elon Musk, but it just has Hess on the top of it.
Like when Mattel's like, oh, Barbie needs to be more relatable to modern children. Let's make her smart and actually want to do things on her own, like make video games and be a nerd. Oh, nope, she still has a Malibu. Nice.
All right, but one last thing I wanted to talk about. So since this is a Christmas special, what were some of your favorite Christmas specials or some of the Christmas-related things? Since this is kind of a...
If this is just a lead-up where you get to say, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then I'm sorry.
not.
I've already heard that this week.
No.
Literally, I had a coworker be like, so Ethan, what are your favorite Christmas movies? And I'm like, and I'll say the same thing to you. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I mean, like, I like Elf. And then my coworker's like, well, my favorite is Die Hard. I'm like, congratulations.
No, it's not. It's never been
2002.
It's never been your favorite Christmas movie. You just say that because everyone else says it.
But I will say this. I don't think a lot of people consider this movie to be a Christmas movie. I guess it depends on what you consider the aspects of a Christmas movie. If it's simply taking place during Christmas time, then sure, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Okay. This also means that the first Harry Potter movie is a Christmas movie because a lot of that movie takes place in Christmas time. A good chunk. It gives you that warm Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone if you're from the old UK where they can't say Sorcerer's Stone. Gives you this warm, fuzzy feeling. Lots of scenes of kids sitting in front of campfire or fireplaces, eating hot food, merry times of wonder. Harry Potter is given something for once in his life, given a lot of shit, including a whole lot of money. That's my favorite Christmas movie. I'll say that.
Mine is probably...
Just Die Hard.
Die Hard. Die Hard 2.
With a vengeance.
With a vengeance. The first one that came to mind was... all the old like claymation Rudolphs, but those are fine. Like I can appreciate them because they are classic, and you have some classic songs. That
you know what I will say, the Heat Miser, Snow Miser is always stuck in my head.
That is a good tune, right?
And there. I will say, because I don't remember that special at all, other than I think Mrs. Claus needed their help to help Santa or something.
Yeah,
those were all really good. But I will say this. In my late teen to early 20 years, which I guess they're technically still happening, I guess. When do you turn into late 20s? I guess I'm technically still in early 20s.
After
my hair, I don't know. Before I wore hats a lot, naturally stood up a lot because my hair is really thick. You could kind of push it in any spot and it kind of stays like that. And my grandma used to call me the Heat Miser because of my... So I have a love-hate relationship with that special.
No, I was going to say that. Those are all good tunes, as people in England say. But no, I'm going to say Krampus. My girlfriend and I we saw it in theaters in December back in, what was that, 2015 when it came out? And every Christmas Eve now we watch Krampus.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
I like it. It's my boy Mike Dowdry. My boy. He makes like more comedy, but it's more of a comedy than it is a horror. But it is still Christmas related, obviously, because it takes place during Christmas. But it's all about, like, it has the classic Christmas movie motifs of, like, there's that uncle we hate, or we don't want to spend time with their family, but they're family, so I have to, and, like, all that. And there's, like, a thing in the end where, this ain't really a spoiler because this is how all Christmas movies usually end. It's like, cherish these moments because you might never get them back kind of thing. Or this is your family, you will learn to appreciate them just because, you're different or whatnot. That kind of stuff. So it's cool. And also, I just love all the practical effects that are in it, and it's just a fun movie.
What year was that?
2015. But
so it's pretty recent.
Yeah, so we've been watching every Christmas Eve.
I would say shout out to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, classic. Chevy Chase is an asshole.
Been a hot minute since
but that movie's extremely funny. And also shout out to A Christmas Carol. I will never get tired of seeing 7 million different versions of that story being told on film. I love the Mickey Mouse one, where it's Scrooge McDuck, and old Tiny Tim is one of Mickey Mouse's nephews. Even the weird, like, Polar Express animation style version that they did. I think with Jim Carrey, bringing it back full circle to the topic of this podcast series. Even that was really good. I'll never get tired of A Christmas Carol. Something about the rich getting fucked. It makes me happy.
Merry Christmas. It made me think of Polar Express, which I know we disagree on.
I like that movie.
I do not like that movie.
I like that movie a lot. I like that story.
I saw it in theaters in 3D,
because as a kid, before that movie came out, I legitimately had I don't know if it was a record or a cassette or a CD, an physical audio format of some kind of the story of the Polar Express being narrated by Liam Neeson. Huh. And I didn't know it was Liam Neeson until much later in life. But I always liked listening to that, yeah.
Because that movie, it felt long, I think. And even as a kid, I was like, is this over? My eyes are starting to hurt from the 3D. Please,
you see the meme where it's like, oh, the lifeless eyes in the Polar Express always freak me out. And then it's 4 images, 3 of characters from that movie, and the 4th one is Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Facebook CEO.
Yeah. Hot chocolate.
That scene was weird. Story itself, though, is pretty heartwarming. So I don't know. The more we talk, the more Christmas movies I'm remembering and being.
I know, oh, yeah. Same. It's coming up back to me. I like Christmas.
But my response when everyone's like, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, I'm like, you know what's a better Christmas movie? Harry Potter. That's a Christmas movie.
How about Star Wars: The Christmas episode, which I actually haven't seen.
Me neither.
It's on my list.
At one point, people considered it canon too, which is hilarious.
Because I heard Boba Fett's in it, and like
right.
the Ewoks are back.
Well, that's where a lot of like the Star Wars fandom references of Boba Fett comes from, is because he's in like a little bit in Empire. He dies like a loser in Jedi, and then that's it. But people build him up as this cool, awesome badass because they read a bunch of books no one else did.
But he
doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He dies in Return of the Jedi because Han Solo, who's blind, accidentally bumps into him. And he falls off the ship into the Sarlacc pit, which they CG tentacles in. In the original version, it's just teeth in a hole.
Which actually is kind of funny. But
yeah. Anyway, any last-minute Christmas-related things you want to get across?
I'm just going to say
to our very affectionate and loving audience.
This could have been so much better. You have so much more material to work with. Like, you could have stole it from any other Christmas-related thing. Like, even books. Like I said, I don't think they had the cartoon or maybe they did for, like, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Just steal the same plot. Kids don't know. It would have been at least entertaining for me if I was an adult watching it with my dumb kid. I don't think they would have been
public domain by then, but you can still rip them off.
Yeah, like, 'cause that's how I try to look at this, being like, we're older now, so I'm trying to play the median of being like, if I did have a kid, would I watch it with them? The answer is no.
Only when he's naughty.
Be like, yeah, I'm forcing you to watch this garbage. Here you go. Well, and so, yeah, instead of me telling my kids they can't watch TV for a week, I'd be like, you can watch TV, but you can only watch this.
You'll earn your TV privileges back once you watch this episode 100 times.
Oh, my God. And they have to sit there and watch it. They can't.
No phone.
Be on their iPads.
Nothing. No HoloLens or whatever the kids are using in this future age. Well, I think this has been the 15th episode of the Sonic Movie Show, a show that you can find every week on Sundays. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play Music, and on YouTube. Just search the Sonic Movie Show wherever you go. And make sure when you do this, it really helps us out. Give us a like, a 5-star rating, a comment even if the comment says stop. That is better than nothing, and we really appreciate it.
Or tell us your favorite Christmas movie.
You know what? That's an even better thing to do. You know what?
Spread that holiday cheer.
Give us a review or write a comment on the YouTube video that says what your favorite Christmas movie is. And if you say it's this episode of Sonic, unironically, I think you're our hero. You can find us on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at EthanAbsolutely. Devin over here is on Twitter at Cursona YouTube. That is Cursona YouTube. The show itself, the Sonic Movie Show, is on Twitter at Sonic Movie Show. You can also find us in real life, if you can, somewhere, because that's how we record this. Because we're real people, damn it.
Unlike this canon.
And next episode is going to be something special again, right?
Is it this week? It
has to be.
Is it? I need to look at the calendar again. Yes. So next week, you better be ready for cats. It's going to be awesome. I have to do some research. I'm going to do a lot of research before we go see this. So I'm not totally out of the loop.
And this is Cats the Musical, the movie, the new 2019 movie.
We're not going to see this on Broadway, which would have been also cool, but we're seeing this in theater.
What happened?
We're seeing this in theaters.
The movie comes out on December 19th, I believe, and you should
20th,
be able to see...
but it should be out on the 19th, yes.
Yes, that's right. Because theaters basically break the midnight rule. If it ends before midnight, then it counts as midnight or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. You'll be able to catch that next week. Our review on that movie, and the only reason why I'm allowing myself to go see this movie is because A, we have nothing else to talk about, but B, I mean, we reviewed a stupid Christmas special. This was a thing we planned because we knew we didn't have any time or any content to do. The only reason why we're going to go see Cats is because the animation style seems oddly familiar to an awful trailer we saw back in April/May/March for the Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, the show. So yeah, it's basically like, hey, and to be quite real here, we're seeing it because we want to see how does a CG in real life, where it's clearly supposed to be people, but also very cartoony, how does that work? How are people going to react to it? And I think that's very fascinating because it might give us insight to how we view Sonic the Hedgehog relate to people in the real world.
It might be believable for all we know. So I'm going to give it a fair shot. I know it's like the meme, but
I'm not going to lie. I'm walking in with a huge negative bias. I'm walking in ready to hate this movie.
Oh, this is going to be so good. Part of me thinks that you shouldn't do any research.
I'm not going to do shit about research.
But I'm going to do like research like with all the characters and like the history of it. So then when we come in, I'll talk about it before we do like the review, just to be, so in case you see it and you also are confused, I'll have some information. Or I'll be kind of like the person who knows what I'm talking about, kind of. But we'll see. It'll be fun. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Well, you'll find that out next episode on the Sonic Movie Show. The only show that gives us a Christmas special where we swear more often than anything else in life. Until next time, bye.
Bye. I think we swore more in that one than we've done in any other one.